Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at our lesson for today. We're going to practice a little bit more of solving our systems of equations with elimination by creating that additive inverse by multiplying by a -1. So go ahead and see what you can do with these first two problems on our do now. Remember, these are the ones that are the same, so you're going to have to multiply one line by a -1. So see if you can come up with your solutions. Remember, you're looking for an x and a y. So hit pause, solve these. I will catch up with you in a minute. All right, let's see how you did. So I see that I have a 6 and a 3, and I see I have a -6 and a -6. So I'm going to multiply the top line by a -1. So negative times negative, that's going to give me a positive. So negative times a positive, there's a -6y, and I have a -6. So again, this one is going to kind of go away. So I don't get myself confused, I'm going to go ahead and cross it out. And let's go ahead and box our additive inverses and add down. 3 plus -6, well, that's a -3. -12 plus -6, that's a -18. Divide by that -3, I get y equals 6. Hopefully you came up with y equals 6. So that is my first part of my solution, and that is going to go in the second spot. Okay, and I am going to go ahead and pick the first one again, the first equation. And I'm going to drop in my 6. So -6x plus 6 times my 6 equals 6. So there's a lot of 6's there. So -6x, 6 times 6 is 36. I'm going to subtract my 36. So I have -6x equals a -30. That's gone. Remember, this is addition. So positive 6 plus a -36, I come up with a -30. Divide by -6. X is equal to a positive 5. A positive 5. All right, let's see what you can do with this one. Again, I see I have the same here, not inverses, so I got to multiply one of the lines by -1. So -7, -2y, -24. And my y's are going to disappear. 8 plus -7, that gives me a 1. 30 plus -24 gives me a positive 6. And I don't need to divide by 1. I can if I want to. It doesn't change anything. So I see x is going to equal 6. And I'm going to go ahead and pick the second one this time, just because I like the number 30. And x is going to go in for the x. There's my 6. And I'm going to evaluate. 8 times 6, that's 48. Plus 2y equals 30. And solving, I know I have to subtract my 48. So that's gone. 2y equals 30 minus 48, or 30 plus -48, that's going to be a -18. Dividing by 2, I come up with y equals -9. Y equals -9. So hopefully you came up with the answers of 6, -9 for that one, and 5, 6 for the first one. Okay, so now let's take a look at a word problem. So I want you to think back to the two forms of linears that we have. We have standard form, which is ax plus by equals c. And we have slope-intercept form, which we use mostly for graphing. That's y equals mx plus b, where the m is the slope and the y is, or the b is the intercept. Okay? So in this problem, we are going to be looking at a standard form equation. Okay, standard form equation. So we're going to be looking for two things in a total. And that's going to lead us to two equations. So let's read this and let's pay attention to what we're buying or what the story is saying and where our totals are. Okay, so an online boutique is having a special on personalized baby items. On Monday, they sold 10 personalized baby blankets and 3 personalized hooded towels for a total of $314. The following day, they received orders for 10 personalized baby blankets and 15 personal hooded towels, which brought in a total of 530. And they want to know, how much does each item sell for? Well, that means I have to get two equations, and we need to start by figuring out what we're talking about. So what are the two things? Well, remember back to semester 1 when we were talking about standard form equations, we know that the first thing we come across is going to be my x. So if I read this, either sentence that says the first thing they came across were baby blankets. So my x, when I divide my variables, is going to be my blankets. That means the y are going to be the towels, the hooded towels. Okay? All right, now let's write our equations. So it says they sold 10 baby blankets, so that's going to be 10x plus 3 hooded towels, and my total is $314. So that's my first equation. Second equation, pulling from the equation from the problem, 10 baby blankets, that goes first. 15 hooded towels, that's a 15. And they brought in 530. Okay, so now we've got our two equations. Okay, I want you to hit pause. I want you to use elimination and solve these and see if you can come up with the value for x and the value for y. I'll catch up with you in a second. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and rewrite these equations a little bit closer together. And I'm going to multiply the top one by -1 because I need to get a negative 10x. So negative 10x, a negative 3y, and a negative 314. All right, so my additive inverses are now my x's. Those are gone. 15 plus -3. That is going to give me 12y. And when I subtract 530 and 314, I come up with 216. Process is the same. I'm still dividing by 12. So divide by 12, and I come up with y equals 18. Okay, so I know this is 18. Let's substitute in to find my other value. So I think I'm going to use the top equation because those are a little bit smaller numbers. So I'm going to throw my 18 in for y. 3 times 18 is going to give me 54. So 10x plus 54 equals 314. Subtract my 54. 314 minus 54. 10x equals 260. Remember, this goes away. Dividing by 10, I see x is 26. So that's my solution, okay? But what they asked us was how much each of these cost. So if I want to know how much a blanket costs, which one is my blanket? Well, let's go back up here. It says X is blankets. So my X value is $26. So a blanket is going to cost $26, and the hooded towels are going to cost $18. Okay, the hooded blankets are going to cost $18. So you can see how we use a lot of the things we learned last semester to kind of help us develop problems and equations for this semester as we're looking at our systems. All right, so you're ready to get going for the day? Let us know if you're struggling. Reach out to us, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow.